Hi team, welcome to the Everyone Active podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jo.
Hi, I'm the other host, Michelle. How are you?
Really blooming good.
Are you?
Yes, I'm still in spring zone, happy zone.
Is in the air.
Yeah, just good vibes.
I'm busy. I've started a new site. I've started a new little site job now. Woo-hoo! Hi, Team Bracknell.
Here we go, new little team to say hello to. What are you doing over there?
Still the same group exercise coordinator. Lovely new team. So yeah, excited to be there. I'm still at Spelthorne. So don't get rid of me that easily. But yeah, loving life at Bracknell.
That's good. Training courses coming up?
So we've got lots coming up. We've got Aqua, Buggies and Bands about to launch, which is very exciting. More Rejuvenate.
Yes.
So it's exciting things coming up, yes.
Yeah, go on the EA family.
Come on, the EA family. Now, tell us, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are doing a selection of clips.
A montage.
A montage of interviews.
Lovely.
Interviews, team, for International Women's Day.
I think we need a drum roll there. So
Oh,
we'll cue the edit for that.
Or shall I just do the...
I think either or works. But
Yay!
you know, we
So
bought the
team,
tech for the drum roll.
We are celebrating International Women's Day. We have been out on the road, talking to, interviewing inspirational females from the Everyone Active family.
And we've been finding out what makes them tick, how they get the right mindset, how they got to where they are. All sorts of great interviews going on.
Absolutely. And we have spoken to people from all areas of the business, from
We
our
have.
legal team to our sporting champions.
Yep, we've spoken to everyone.
So, team, enjoy their interviews, be inspired by these amazing women and ladies that we interviewed. Thank you for being you. And Mishy,
Yes.
thank you for being an amazing woman in my life.
I'm right back at you. I was just telling you earlier how much I love you.
Yeah.
And if you've got any questions about anything that we've discussed, email is podcast@everyoneactive.com.
Absolutely. Be inspired by these stories, team, and we will see you again soon. We are welcoming, thank you so much for joining us, Jackie Tillman.
It's a pleasure to be here, ladies. Thank you.
Jackie, can you just tell our listeners and viewers, what is your job role? Other than the Queen
Being
of
the Queen
Everyone
of
Active.
Everyone Active.
Well, I actually have two job roles, which is quite unique in the organisation. I've since learned, since changing my email footer. So I have two job titles. One is Director of Aquatics and Wellbeing,
Lovely.
and two is Chief Exec of our charitable trust.
Yes, now.
Other words, the Queen of
Queen.
Everyone Active.
Queen, the OG.
Yes! So as we've got you in, can we go right the way back to the beginning about
We can.
Everyone Active, but also your career throughout leisure?
You can. Okay. So it began in 1991 when I was 3,
Two,
you
yeah.
understand? Yes, very young. And I was working at Stratford Leisure Centre.
Oh.
And in 1991, Everyone Active, as it was SLM in the day,
Yes.
moved in to take over the contract.
Can you just explain a bit of the business side behind Everyone Active and our relationship with local authorities? So how does
Sure.
it work?
So back to that 1987, and the government put out compulsory competitive tendering, and local authorities could put out their leisure provision, and organisations like Everyone Active then moved into the space, really. And at that time, there were two chaps. This is really dragging the history back. There were two chaps, one that worked for Hinckley and Bosworth Borough Council and one that worked at Hinckley Leisure Centre. They got together and formed a company, Sport and Leisure Management.
Wow.
And that was how it began. And they took on Hinckley Leisure Centre back in 1987.
Wow.
So that was a huge, brave step and a big thing to do at that time. And who would have thought that the business would have grown as it has today? But of course, we weren't on our own back in 1987. There were other small organisations equally treading the boards in the same marketplace. And it was slow in 1987. There weren't lots of contracts coming to the fore, but now and today, there are more and more,
More and more,
coming to
aren't
the
there?
fore. Absolutely.
I guess that's also a reflection of the movement of people, because our want to go to a gym, our want to become social,
Correct.
our want of different forms of
Yes.
exercise
Yes.
is now becoming a
Yes.
form of life, like an everyday habit.
As we would hope it is
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yes.
For the young through.
But it's so
to-
important for those leisure centres to be the hub of the community, isn't it,
Yes.
as well? Which is where I think Everyone Active is so unique in the marketplace, that it brings those communities together.
And you're right. And not only are our leisure centres the hub of communities, we do outreach beyond the leisure
Yes,
centre.
yes.
So we've got quite a number of outreach venues where that's felt appropriate. A village hall, a church hall, a school hall. We take the facilities out to the community.
Yeah, we
Not
do
everybody
lots
has
of
the
that
ability to
in
communicate.
our contract at
Yes.
Spelthorne. We do ever such a lot of
Yes,
that.
yeah, and that's wonderful because
there's-
people struggle with mobility.
Yes.
Definitely. And that's a big clue in our title as well, is everyone. And it's not
Yes.
that, do you know what, walk through the door of a gym. It is, there's the park there, or we'll take the instructor to your
That's
church
exactly
hall.
it. That's exactly it. And let's not forget, leisure centres can be quite intimidating places. We're acutely aware of that. And so if we can lessen that impact and
Yeah.
people are comfortable to come and have a coffee at our community cafes and feel comfortable in the environment and see what's going on, then hopefully there'll be a mind change and that these environments are comfortable for everybody.
And you've got
Definitely.
that at your site, haven't you? I've noticed that Joe's at our Harpenden site, and I noticed people come and walk their dogs, and they're just coming into the cafe just to come and
Which
have a
is
coffee.
just
and a chat,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, because it is a proper hub, isn't
Yeah,
it?
And
definitely.
that social interaction for individuals' mental health. It's not just physical, is
Yeah.
it? It's mental health. It's the
Yeah.
whole body. It's the whole person.
Yeah,
And if
absolutely.
we can attract people in,
Yeah, agree.
whatever their need is.
And there's more exciting things happening again in the business, aren't
There's
there now?
so many exciting things happening. I mean, it's exciting times as new business comes to the market. So right now and today, we've managed to retain 2 new contracts in Market Harborough and Melton Mowbray, which is really exciting. So there's lots of exciting developments to take place there. We just had notification that we've won North Hearts. So that's a brand new contract for us.
Exciting.
That's really exciting in the South East region. But then we've got a whole raft of other new things about to hit 2024. I'll need to put my specs on to read, if I may, ladies. Because I have put a list down. So we've got, certainly right now, we've got the, and we have launched the new wellness membership.
Oh, yes.
So we know that it's not just about the gym and fitness. It is about the whole person. So it is about the health and well-being of every individual. So we have just recently launched the wellness membership, which simply means a fitness member could access the gym, workout classes and the pool. If you sign up to a wellness membership, you now can access the gym, workout classes and the pool, as well as you have got access to a whole raft of discount benefits, which is really very nice. And we've also got access to something called Health Hero, which means a member with a slight increase in their monthly direct debit can have 24-hour access to a GP,
Wow.
which we just think
Yep. It's the
looks
whole
after
thing,
the whole
yeah,
person.
whole
And
thing,
if they
yeah.
take out that membership, that access to a GP also allows access for all their family, so their children
Amazing.
as well.
Wow.
So that's really quite an exciting
Yeah.
one,
Yes.
and we're delighted to be able to offer that to our members. But then all sorts of other things. We've got PT Academy
Ooh, yes.
launching. Very exciting.
exciting.
Very
Really, really
exciting.
exciting.
And we've been
Exciting.
working hard rolling that out with our colleagues over the last month or so. We've got Everyone on Demand relaunched.
Yay!
That's you guys again, isn't it? Yes.
Busy.
Hi.
They're going to be like, oh, them
Going
again.
to be busy. We've also got the London Aquatic Centre that's come into
Amazing.
our portfolio.
Oh, so
that goes
exciting.
live on the 1st of
A
March.
big one, because it's Olympic year.
It is Olympic year, and we have got the Olympic trials there on the 1st of April.
So exciting.
So that's
Wow.
really, really exciting.
Really exciting.
That's really exciting, and a very big venue for us, which is lovely. We've got the new Sport Passport. Sport Passport is how we monitor our children's lessons and activity. So that's all done digitally on tablets. So we've got a new release of that. So
Amazing.
that'll raise the profile of that and make it much easier for our colleagues and our customers to access. We're introducing back into Group X. We've got Boogies and Bands. How exciting is
My
that?
baby.
Boogies and Bands. Again, that's out in the community.
In the
isn't it?
community.
That's in the parks and
Yep,
whatever
absolutely.
land that
Yeah.
we can access, which is really exciting. We've got performance and conditioning, and I think that's you two again. Oh, my
Shout out to
word.
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron.
Go on, Aaron. We're actually going to have Aaron on, so we're going to do a whole episode about the importance of this. But a brief overview is
Go on.
we recognise as a business how important your conditioning side is, not just your full-on workout.
Yes.
So we're talking about mobilising through, we're talking about different techniques of how we're training. And it's geared up to if you wanted to do a competitive event, it's how you train in a group exercise format.
It's
very clever, isn't it?
That is
It's
very
very
exciting.
Everybody, accessible to all fitness levels, but we're now going to be able to drive you towards there whilst looking after your body and your mind at the same
How
time.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And
Well done,
that's one
Aaron.
extreme, isn't it? And I guess absolutely worth mentioning is our health and well-being part of the business, which is our GP exercise referral
Yes.
Yeah.
candidates and how we bring those into our business with outreach programmes, referrals from a variety of places,
I think
not simply your GP.
A big thing that happened in 2023 was the relationship with Parkinson's and how we offer
Yes, our
Parkinson's
partnership
membership. And we run Parkinson's classes at Harpenden.
Yeah, we do.
And just being able to see the smiles and the extended movement now. So we open up the studios and we've got a fully qualified teacher to teach specific classes to those with Parkinson's.
Well, that simply was born because we know that exercise slows down the progression of Parkinson's. So it seemed a natural partnership for us to embrace. And so we have embraced it. And we've got over 2,500 individuals living with Parkinson's as members.
Wow.
We've opened that
Yeah.
free of charge to them and their supporters, whoever they happen to be, partners,
I mean, yeah,
family
it's
members.
huge at my site. Absolutely
Yes,
huge.
yes. So that is
great.
a lovely membership, and I
Yeah.
think has made a huge difference. And the business is open to wherever we can make a difference. We had the Ukrainian guests membership, and we had over 11,000 individuals accessing our facilities free of charge last year, where they're a Ukrainian guest membership, because we felt individuals are coming into this country potentially nowhere to live, but if you could bring your children swimming or use
Yes,
the gym,
yes.
there was a degree of normality in your life. So that was another membership that we opened free of charge.
That's
year.
amazing.
that's
So
amazing.
Yes.
So are there any other challenges that you can think of that are going to affect the business, do you think, in this next financial year?
Yes, so I think obviously we've got the utility challenges. I think we've got young people not choosing to be active, and I think we've got a challenge in drawing young people in and making sure we've got young people active. We've got seniors that we're trying to attract in and keep well and active, and keeping our doors open to as many of our customers as we possibly can. Yeah. We work very hard and we have a lead on sustainability and looking at making our sites as carbon neutral as we can.
And because you are pretty inspirational, because you are a female in predominantly, it was a very male-dominated world.
Yes.
What's that piece of advice for the generations that are potentially coming through?
I think you have to strive and stretch for your dreams, don't you? Never be shy. Don't be intimidated. Reach out for what you believe in. I believe in what we do. I absolutely believe in what we do. I started my journey very much from an aquatics background. 1 site, 5 sites, 10 sites, and away you go. And I'm absolutely passionate about making a difference to people's lives. So I stick with that mantra, and therefore it allows you to live each day like that.
Absolutely.
Trying to make the difference. It matters. We're all involved.
What a great thing to end
I
on.
know. What got you? We've gotten through parents. Was there like an idol? Were you inspired? We've talked about
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah.
Do we want to guess who your
Go on
sporting
then.
idol is?
Yeah, so obviously my idol is Ellie Simmons.
Yay!
Just in so many different ways, you know, got the same disability, she swims, she's female. Just empowering with everything she's done in parasport. Having someone at the age of 10 to look up to who's not exactly the same, you know, we're both different people, but the same in the sense that we have the same disability. And just smashing just everything, you know, gold medals, just defying everything. And I just think it's so incredible to have. I was so fortunate to have someone like that to look up to.
yeah.
And yeah, she's just an amazing person.
You spoke about it briefly as well. We said the power of the Paralympics.
Yeah.
Like it is that funding, it's making sure it's on mainstream TV,
Yeah.
it's getting you guys out.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I certainly think that awareness of it has certainly grown, hasn't
Yeah.
it, over the last maybe decade or
100%.
so. And have you sort of felt that being within the Paralympian team? Have you felt that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. You know, when I first started, it was only my swimming coach, Sandra from Wellingborough, bless her. She was like, you know, there's para sport, and I think you should go and try out this day where, like, so Northamptonshire Sport, they put on these para days. And that's where I got scouted. And, you know, I was so nervous to go in there because I just didn't really know what to expect. For one, I'd never kind of been in an environment with loads of disabled people. I've been brought up with able-bodied sisters. I went
Right.
to a mainstream school, you know, didn't know any different. So being in that environment, I was like, wow, this is really different. But yeah, no, just the way it has grown is incredible. And I've definitely seen it, you know, and I think sometimes I put the pressure on myself a little bit. You know, everyone says to me, you're the new Ellie Simmons, you know, you're now the face kind of para swimming a little bit. I think there's so many other people that are amazing on the team that are also, you know, amazing swimmers and can also be the face of para swimming. But yeah, I think it's just incredible, just getting us out there as much as possible. I do think there's still areas, you know, where it could be changed a little bit.
Do
you know,
you?
our World Championships could have been on the mainstream TVs. Like, I just think, just show it to everyone, you know. Schools were coming along, but it's still not there quite, you know. I think there's still some changes, but I think that's just life at the moment, you know. Not everything's going to be equal, but hopefully one day we'll get there.
Yeah.
Episodes, but mindset has a lot to do with it. How do you really combat that when you wake up in the morning thinking, oh, it's really dark, it's freezing? How do you get past that?
Yeah, I definitely had it this Tuesday morning when my alarm went off. My mum even said she could hear it going off because it was going off for so long. But yeah, I kind of like, it's always like, oh my goodness, got to get up now. I always said it like 2 minutes before I actually have to get up, just so I can like lay
you can
in bed.
just contemplate you getting up.
Yeah.
Top tip. Yeah. Alarm, but I've actually got 2 minutes.
Just lay in bed a little bit. Then I'm like, right, come on, you got to get up. Then you open the sheets and it's like freezing cold.
Yeah.
But I think there's just obviously, I don't know what it is, I can't even describe it, but there's obviously something in my belly that keeps me going.
Yeah.
If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't bother waking up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Whether that's I want to go to the next Paralympic Games or I just enjoy swimming that much, I still want to carry on doing it. And when you're there, you know, it's completely fine. Like, there's nothing,
It's the thought of it, isn't
it's
it?
that
Yeah.
first half an hour of waking up, getting in the car. Once you're there, you're fine. You know,
Yeah.
there's no going back now, you're here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you may as well get in the pool. But yeah, I'm relatively chilled around training, you know. But when it comes to competition, my mindset goes on a completely different
Does it?
level.
Yeah.
I'm someone that gets really nervous. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, I get really nervous. I think
And
personally
how
for
far,
me,
sorry to interrupt you, but how
It's all right.
far in advance do you feel those nerves when you've got a big
it depends on the
meet coming up?
competition. So if it's like a major meet 1 or 2 weeks before, I'll start getting
Really?
really
Wow.
nervous. Yeah. Whereas, you know, a couple of weeks back we had our winter regionals, complete chilled. I was relaxed, you know, I didn't have anything to be nervous about. I swam well. And even though I've swam well there, I will still be nervous in a couple of weeks' time, probably whenever we've got our next competition. So, yeah.
Sometimes those nerves can fire you.
Yeah, I
can't
think
they?
that's the thing that I need to remember, that, you know, I'm not being nervous in a bad way. I need to use them in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I'm being nervous because I want to do well and I love my sport. And I think that's what I've got to keep reminding myself, remembering the positive reasons why I'm nervous and not think about the negative reasons, even though, you know, there's that little person in my mind being like freaking out, like, what are you going to do? But no, yeah. And I think as well, part of it is the more I'm becoming a senior athlete, I think I'm getting more nervous.
Really?
I think I
that
put a
because
lot
of the
of pressure on myself.
expectation?
Yeah.
Right.
And I know there's no expectation from everyone else, you know, my coaches, my mum, everyone around me, like, there's no pressure. Like, you've done everything you've wanted to ever do. Like, there's no pressure. But deep down inside of me, obviously, I still want to achieve more and I still want to do well. And, you know, I think as well, you've put so much time and effort into the sport. It's like, I need to do well because I need to show that all this time and dedication that I've put into this sport and missing going and seeing my friends, missing going and doing family things, I want to prove to them that this has paid
It's
off. This
worth
is why
it,
I've missed out. So yeah, there's loads of different elements, I think, to why I get nervous, but hopefully something I'll just deal with and keep going with it.
What's next? Should we just let you list your
Please
achievements?
do.
Like, go for it. We've
Okay,
never
first
really
of all,
like.
So how many gold medals have you won, please?
As in total?
Well, first let's do total, and then let's do as an
breakdown
Olympian.
where you got them
yeah.
from.
I'm not sure. To be honest.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Joe, how many golds have you won? 0. No,
If
me
I
as well.
name them all, then maybe we'll be able to
Okay,
count
let's
once
go.
we're going. So I got 2 Paralympic medals,
Paralympic
gold medals.
Gold
yeah.
medals.
This World Championships, I got 2 gold medals and a silver medal.
So exciting.
Where else have I been? Last year, I got, I want to say 3 gold medals and a silver.
Because Maisie
We're
can't
on
remember because there've been
7
too many
gold medals so far.
World Championships 2019, I came away with 1 of each, so 3 medals.
Wow.
8 gold.
And then Europeans 2018, came away with 4 medals there. I think it was 2 gold, 3 gold, 1 bronze.
Wow.
And then my Commonwealth Games medal, so gold there. So
12.
Wow. And my next question is, where are they? Because you haven't beat them in.
yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't.
Let me
brought
just say
them in.
we're devastated.
My name is Jazz Atwell. I'm a senior legal counsel for Everyone Active, and I'm basically the lawyer, one of the lawyers for the company. So I review all of the contracts that we have, like supplier contracts, and then also contracts that we win with local authorities to run and operate leisure centres across the country. I have been with Everyone Active for almost 2 years. I've always known I've wanted to be a lawyer since I was a kid. Generally, where the type of background I'm from, it was always presented to us that the best industries to go into were doctor, lawyer, or accountant. I couldn't do anything science related. It was just my weakest subject, and numbers, not a chance. So that just left law. So I did criminal law at college, and I really enjoyed it. And that's what made me progress onto university and do law at uni. And that's when I discovered I actually preferred commercial to criminal. But it was actually criminal that made me think that this was the industry for me. So one of the most influential women in my life that's inspired me to get to where I am today is all of my sisters and my mom, just in case they're listening, but is one of my sisters who now works for Microsoft, but she started her career as a teacher. And she went from teaching to winning these different awards in IT and all these other areas, and now works for one of the biggest companies in the world. And she just inspires me to set a goal and achieve it, but also just to keep your mind so open to any possibility and opportunity. If she just stuck on the path that she was told to go on, which is teaching, she would never be where she is today and have all the things that she's got. But she continues to drive and do whatever she wants. And I just find it very inspirational. So that's always something that sticks in my mind when I'm going for opportunities. But there have been occasions in my career where I've been faced with situations where other people have seen me as a female before a lawyer. And I guess experiencing those situations has pushed me to want to prove myself even more so that people don't see me as just a woman, but actually as a lawyer first. And, female is just my identity. But they actually see that I'm good at what I do. So I think one of the biggest barriers for women, or anyone really in the workplace, to speak up about harassment and inequality is that they fear that by speaking up, it risks their job. So I think that workplaces and the profession in general need to put a safe space in at work so that you can speak up about experiences you're facing without feeling like it's going to impact your reputation in that company or your job altogether. Where I've had a situation like that in a previous job, I had to wait till my exit interview to talk about my experience, and I just don't think that's the solution. I think there should be something in work that allows you to talk about that and feel safe enough to talk without feeling like it's going to come back on you and that you're not going to be believed. The biggest misconception of women in law, and I don't know if this is specific to just me personally, but I always feel like people assume I'm a lot more junior than I am. I'm always asked if I'm a paralegal, but I've actually been in the legal industry for 14 years. So it's a bit insulting sometimes that people just assume that I've got very little experience in the industry. The advice I'd give to young women or women trying to get into law is to not let anyone else's opinions prevent you from pursuing your passion, and also to not believe social media a lot of the time. I think if that was around when I was younger, it would have put me off because people only present the best version of themselves. So I think if you're genuinely passionate about something, to just not let anyone else's opinions get in the way of you achieving what you want to achieve. The message I would like to share on International Women's Day is to speak up and to always speak your truth and call out toxic behaviour whenever you see it or experience it, because that's the only way that we're going to stamp it out.
So what age were you when you entered your first championship? How old were you then?
So I kind of joined a club when I was about 8 or 9, and then I kind of started doing like the local club competitions around like 9, 10, etc. And it wasn't really until I kind of probably got to more like 11, 12 that I started what I consider like properly
competitive sort of stuff.
Yeah, like I did stuff within the club, but like I think being from a small town, it wasn't really like, they were just smaller galas. There were smaller like club champs rather than anything that's kind of on, not a bigger scale, I'm not talking elite, but anything that was kind of like, oh, this is scary. Do you know what I mean? So I just absolutely loved it. So I started competing then. I moved to my coach, who then I stayed with throughout my whole career.
Bill Furness, is
Bill,
it?
yeah, when I was about 12. So that's when my training kind of started.
And is that a normal age to sort of like pick up with a swim coach if you're looking to sort of do it professionally, or was that quite unusual?
No, quite unusual.
Was it?
Really, really rare. Most of the time you join a club and you kind of stay there until kind of GCSE A-level sort of year. And then when you move into like senior swimming, that's when a lot of people tend to find their coach, because a lot of the time you swim at a club, and this sounds a bit like bad, but it's not. It's just there is no academy. There's no talent ID program. There's nobody scouting for professional swimmers. Like, it kind of doesn't really work like that. So you only swim at that club essentially because it's local to you, because it's easy for your parents. You've not chosen that coach because they're amazing. Whereas my mum and dad chose Bill because we didn't really have the club set up around us. So we had to travel 45 minutes to the pool.
Did you?
So that's just kind of how it's set up. Whereas a lot of people, they go to uni or they go to like a performance centre once you get into senior swimming, and then that's when they go with their coach.
What sort of mindset do you get yourself into before you're starting a race? So as you're in the water, you're sort of standing there waiting to get into the water. What's going through your mind?
Nerves.
Really?
Pure nerves.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I was a very nervous racer.
Were you?
Really nervous. Like, even 3 weeks before, I would start to feel sick just out of sheer nerves. Like, that morning, I'd never be able to eat, so I just survived.
Like, you're going to throw up all the time.
The only thing I could digest was those like gels. Have you seen those sport gels? That's the only thing I could manage to get down me, because I couldn't eat. I literally couldn't sleep. I was just so nervous, just sick with nerves. So it was just horrendous. So I was a very nervous racer. For me, my coach always said to me, just remember 3 things. And they were all technical stuff, like really like boring stuff to anyone else. But he just said that would calm me. And it was just, if I tried to remember more than 3 things, you forget them.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like when you play that alphabet game with the kids, and you forget everything. So he just said 3 things. You don't get confused. You know your 3 things. Just focus on them. So they're all things like my stroke length or my turns or my high elbow. They're all like really swimming technical bits. But I just kept repeating those 3 things. I didn't listen to music. I'm not one of those people that
Did you not? Right. Okay. So you didn't get into the zone with that kind of thing.
No. If I did that, I'd be like singing along to One Direction or something and just totally not focused. I'd just start singing and dancing. And be like, no, concentrate there. So no, I never liked listening to music. For me, it was always just concentrating on the 3 things, like trying to just be nice and chatty. Like, I was really lucky that Joe was quite chatty as well. So me and Joe used to have a bit of a chat.
Nice.
So it relaxed us, because we weren't like the men in the call room. So we go into a call room where basically it's just you and your competitors before you race. So you have
what's the atmosphere like in there?
Horrendous. It's horrendous. So you just go into this one room. It's the size of this room, so it's not a big room, and it's just you and your competitors. So 7 other people.
Goodness.
There's no coaches, no staff, no nothing. Wow. There's the officials that are working the event, but there's nobody else in there but your competitors. There tends to be the race before or the race after. So because the men it always goes male, female, male, female.
Understand, yeah.
So it's always the men, and the men are like slapping. They're like slapping themselves, like all macho, staring at each other out. Like it's really intense. The guys are like all macho, like smacking their pecs, like I'm it, I'm the best.
Wow.
And then the girls are like, "Are you okay?
Yeah, looks nice under the cap."
Well, like your nails. That's what, it's very different.
Oh my goodness, how amazing was that?
No, wasn't it just lovely being able to just hear different stories, different perspectives of how they've got to where they are.
Yeah, amazing. So good. So I hope you really enjoyed it, guys.
Yay. And to every woman out there, happy International Women's Day.
Sending love to you.
And team, as always, if you want to email us, send them in to
podcast@everyoneactive.com.
And if you've got any questions about any of the areas of work that were spoken about, go into your centres, speak to your wellness team, speak to your personal training team, speak to your front of house team. We will be there and we will get the information to you.
Until next time.
I know, we're gone again. Team, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. As always, please leave us a kind review.
Yes.
Share
the love.
away. And team, take care, look after yourselves.
Bye.